Good morning, all. Welcome to this Linux administration, the demo. You can just take it as like, the slides which I'm going to play around. And they will be talking about the enterprise Linux on 8. People can hear me? Can you please just confirm it? At least one person. Hello?
Yes, Ramnath, we are able to.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. Thanks. Last week I was talking about something on 40 manager and the 40 analyzer, like that. That is for like a Fortinet products, how we going to manage it from the centralized locations. And it will be talking to the on-premises data centers, and as well as it is on the cloud also, it will be supporting that. It's got some third-party integrations as well. So Fortinet has been gaining in the market like anything. So many people are going for a Fortinet solutions. And I see near about 50, 60, more than 100 FortiGates are installed in many other locations as well for companies and all. So it is a simple solution and it is a cost effective also. That's why people are going for a Fortinet. And now it is coming like that. It should be managed by that from one place. Like so, it's like an NOC is there, network operating center and security operating center is there. What actually we will be doing it like the from centralized locations. We would like to push the configurations, pull the configurations, modifying it, and centralized upgradation of the OS, virus definitions and IPS and IDS signatures, updating those things like in each and everybody, like each and every firewall. When we try to log into that and making it in the sense, it will be taking a hell lot of time. So what's the thing is being done in the sense like we can do it from the centralized location, so it will be easy for us to send all these informations to the concerned firewalls with the proper logins and other things. We need to add those firewalls into the Fortinet. This was I was discussing last week, and I had so many queries has come up actually for whether you can take the sessions for that. Like I'm just still building up the labs and all. It'll be ready by next week or something. So I'll be starting the sessions for that. Okay, today we are going to talk about the very basic things on the Linux side. Linux, which is the operating system which I've been working on last 12 years, more than that also. And it is not only the RedHat I work on. The RedHat is a company name, because Linux is an open source and it is available for all the public figures, public people. It's free and downloadable, redistributable. And this has been written by Linus Torvalds. The core kernel has been written by Linus Torvalds in 1991. He released first. So nowadays, it's I guess 2021 we are in. 91, 2001, 2011, and near about 40 years it has been going on like that. So that 30 years like that it's going on. So near about 30 years it has been in the market. So this is a very tough competitor for any other operating systems in the world. Earlier we were working on Sun Solaris and the Unix platforms, HP US, HP Unix, IBM Unix. So many Unix were there. Sun Solaris was quite famous on 2000s and all, 90s and 2000s and all. Nowadays, I just need to count the number of the people who are using that Sun Solaris nowadays. Nobody is using nowadays. So RedHat RedHat is a company which find out that Linus Torvalds kernel is so effective and it is giving the proper graphical user interface also, as well as command line interface also. So that's why they took it in their own operating systems like that, and they made some lot of changes. It's not like that they just took the kernel and they start selling it in the name of RedHat. Not in that way. They did a lot of RedHat package management, RPMs they created, and many other third-party solutions they created. Means RedHat has got so many other products as well. Not only selling the Linux or something, it has been selling that JBoss, it is selling that, and it is selling on some this database solutions, data warehouse solutions, and many other things like a Kubernetes. It has been offering the Kubernetes also in the RedHat Linux. And it has been offered in the clouds also, like everywhere in the cloud. Okay. Everyone is saying that IBM has been taken over the RedHat. What happened to that? Yes, it's there. IBM has taken the RedHat. But still, the things are like that. RedHat is the most selling platform in the world. In the Linux platform I'm talking about, it is a very tough competitor to the Windows operating systems. That everyone knows that. Windows, I guess they come out with the 2019 and 2012, 2020, something like that. They are coming out with the servers. It's a very good competitor for that, the Windows as well, the Red Hat Linux. Other than Red Hat, there are so many other versions also available. Once distributions, it has been called as Red Hat based platforms are there. Ubuntu based in the sense we'll say Debian based is called as a Debian based Linux operating systems are there. Under that Debian based, it's Ubuntu is a very highly talk about that, and there are so many other flavors as well in the Linux. Mint is Debian, Scientific Linux, and so many other Linux platforms are there, which we can go through that. I myself, I just know about that. There are near about 20 to 25 distributions are there in Linux. And the most famous Kali Linux, which we work on for hacking, and spamming and other things, which we try to attack the people on the outside of something. So that is also been based on Debian based only. So like so many versions of the kernel and other things are there. Debian kernel doesn't go along with the Red Hat kernel, means like a Linux Torvalds kernel. That's a different kernel. And we, as a position like that, you are just looking like a system administrator. And even if you're not a system administrator, I can, because I am not a system administrator at all, I am a network engineer. But it is not like just the network only we will be working on. It is not possible for us to work on only networks. Because what is the meaning of building the network? Network build for database applications, operating system logins, AD and LDAP logins, and the resources which are distributed all over the world by using the operating systems and the third-party softwares and the applications which is running on, and the cloud has been built on that. So everything we would like to do the network for that means they need to get connected to each other. That is a part of the network job. I can just say that. The network job in the sense we are going to talk to the integrating and as well as interacting with the many operating systems as well in the market. Either it is a desktop or a laptop or like the server platforms or third-party solutions platforms, or like mobile platforms also, Android, iOS, Windows platform, something is there. So like when we are talking about the network in the sense, you just need to have some kind of an understanding about the OS as well. It is very much required. It is not like just having the network knowledge. You can configure the routers and switches. You can do EIG, RP, OSPF, BGP stuff. And you are talking to the remote access connectivities. And you're working on slightly here and there with the firewalls and other things. But that is not actually, it's not enough, I can just say, because every other network device in the world, currently it has been produced, which are there already in the market for last 40 years. Every other network device is based on Linux platform only. 100% I can make sure that it is working on Linux only. I can just show you the kernels. When you log into the CLI, you will be understanding that it is working on Linux only. When you take the cloud platform completely, AWS is built on Linux. And Microsoft is hiding it, but most of the services are running on based on Linux only in Microsoft Azure platform. And GCP is completely Linux only. There is no doubt about that. And when you talk about all the firewalls which you're working on, Cisco ASA, Juniper SRX, Juniper is running on BSD Unix, I can say. That is also Linux flavor only, I can say, because Unix has been obsolete completely. So it is built on Linux only, I can say. Then we talk about the Fortinet is completely VM Linux will be loading on this. And Palo Alto is completely running on Linux. Why I'm stressing on Linux, even the F5 load balancer, if you just go for that, A10 load balancer is also there. That is all completely built on Linux only. It has taken the Linux kernel and they modify the things which will do only the load balancing stuff in that. All the other daemons means the services, they will just stop it out and they will just run only the load balancer daemon on that. Like the A10 load balancer is run. A10 is not free. We just need to get the corporate email address and other things. Then they will be giving you some month evaluation copies and another. Okay, that is, we'll leave that. So load balancers, firewalls, routers, switches, whatever the network equipments you just see. Even if your ADSL modems, everything is based on Linux only. And most of the operating systems on the mobile platform also running on Linux only. So that's why I will just try to say to all the people whoever comes to study with me, that I will just tell them that please to have kind of Linux knowledge, basic working knowledge on the Linux, how to start a service, how to stop the service, how do you understand which are all the services are running, how do you find out what are the rights over that particular directory, how do you install a third-party applications into the Linux platform, either it can be Ubuntu or it can be a Red Hat or it can be CentOS. Now we are talking about a Rocky Linux. CentOS, that is a bigger story. I'll tell you that later. Okay. So I was talking to my people like that whenever they are coming for a training or something, I just tell them that please go for kind of Linux based trainings. Or even if you're not able to go for a training or something, spending money for to get trained on Linux platforms, try to do because Linux is free. You can download it. Rocky Linux, it is completely free. And Red Hat is also giving the developer platform, it is a free. Means you will not be able to run a particular application on a business basis. It's not possible because it may be crashing or it may be giving a lot of errors which you could not able to solve it out. But for a developer's platform, they are giving it as like a free. CentOS is completely free. 7 and 8 is also been free. And the Rocky Linux is completely free. Ubuntu is 100% free. You can download and you can work on. So that's what I'm saying. You just go there and download the files, maybe like 2 GB, 3 GB files will be there. Put it on like, some kind of a torrent or something, you can take that and you can start downloading that and start installing it in a VMware workstation. Workstation installation is enough for you. You don't require a VMware ESXi server or something. Not required at all. Just take that Linux box and install it in your own laptop and work on as much as possible. You spend most of the time in understanding the commands and the outputs and analyzing them and to understand the services as well. So many thousands and tons of videos are there in the YouTube to learn about the Linux platform. Any Linux, you take that. So that's what I was just telling the people like that when you come to the network or when you come to the firewalling. Firewalling is the most important Linux is required for you because we will be doing all the kind of threat activities and attacking activities and the protecting activities like the offensive security, defensive security. Everything has been based on the Linux only. Nobody is having a Windows platform. Don't worry about that. Nothing is in Windows, it is available. So we require to know about the Linux. Why I'm stressing so much on Linux? Every other demo which I'm taking, that seminar which I'm taking, then I'll talk about the Linux only. Because Linux given me the good confidence over the network equipments because every network equipment has been built on Linux only. So it's easy for me to troubleshoot it. Either it is an application issue or it is an OS core issue. It's very easy to find out that. Whenever you would like to pick up the packet capture on a network equipment, either is a firewall or a router or a switch or a firewall or a load balancer or something, you require to do the TCP dumping. TCP dumping is nothing but a command which is available on Linux only. So you just need to get into the shell prompt and you will be doing the TCP dumping. The packets which are going through the particular interface to the another interface or something, we can capture all the packets. And if you like to troubleshoot that there's something is going on, a memory leaking problems, application is getting crashed, the server means the router or something is not getting booted properly, FI load balancer is giving some erratic behavior. These are all you can very much easily sort out when you come to the Linux background on that. That's why I'm just saying Linux is like a mother of all. Okay, you should know the Linux. It's not about that you are taking a class or you would like to get trained with some trainer or something. If you go for a trainer, it's nice because he will be giving you the knowledge which he earned from the market, knowledge which he earned from his own experience. He will be sharing it along with you. And when you come to that Linux in the sense, people may be fearing that why should I learn all the commands and other things? It is very hard now. Why can't I work with the GUI only on the Linux? It is possible. It is possible. Every other Linux platform nowadays, it is giving you the very stronger GUI, means like a Windows environment it is being giving you. But the Linux is not built for that. I would like to tell you, Linux is not built for GUI. Linux is built for stronger command line interfaces. Because as and when there is a problem is going on, we just need to get into the command prompt to find out, shell prompt to find out that what is actually happening on that box which is not working properly. So learning the commands is important. Because when you're configuring a Cisco router or a Cisco ASA firewall, we require to get into the CLI. When you would like to do the core level troubleshooting on Palo Alto firewall, we require to go to the shell prompt. And the FI load balancers, if you wanted to troubleshoot and you would like to get the outputs of that, how many packets are coming, you require to get into the TMSH. That is nothing but another shell that is called as a traffic manager shell. So everybody has got a shell environment. When you go to the AWS, there is a AWS CLI is there. AWS shell environment is there. AWS APIs are there. APIs means application programming interface we talk. So application programming interface, we require to know the scripting background. Scripting, the people are very much worried about that scripting and the command lines. Why should I learn all these commands? How do I remember all these commands and all? Like how do I write a script for that? Because without writing the script, you will not be able to survive in the cloud market. I'm telling you 100%. Is a TCP dump similar to the Wireshark? Wireshark, yeah, Wireshark is like a tool. Yeah, it is capturing that. You can do that. But capturing the packets on Wireshark may be problematic when if you not be able to do, your customer cannot capture that through the Wireshark. Is not that much smart enough to find out something on a Wireshark or something. Better we can log into that box and we can do the TCP dumping. That's easy. TCP dumping is very easy. That's what I would like to tell you. And when we are talking about the CLI and the scripting and other things, scripting, without a scripting, you will not be able to survive in the cloud market, I'm telling you. Because everything is been done on the AWS GUI. That is for only for the L1 people. L1 means level 1 people or level 1.5 people. After that, you will not be touching anything on a GUI as such in AWS. There is a very sad things I would like to tell you that, because even GCP also. In the Azure, you can just do it with some kind of a PowerShell and all. They created that. How much is effective, I don't know, because I'm not good in the PowerShell, but I work on PowerShell also because we need to work on every other platforms. But when you try to initiate a service, when you try to install a service for a cloud platform as a nested platform, or it is like a cluster platform or something, we require to know about the scripting on this. Scripting basics are taken in a Linux platform only. In the Linux only, we will be learning about the shells. How many shells are there? Bourne shell, corn shell, T shell, C shell. So many other shells are there. Shells is nothing but a terminal. Terminal is nothing but equivalent to the command prompt, I can say, in a Windows platform. People who are coming from the Windows, I can say. So when you get into that shell script or something like that, then we are start writing about the shell script. Shell script is a quite easier one, because shell script is going to do basic commands, integrated commands to be formed like a one file or something. Means you would like to take a backup on so once a day, and you would like to send it to some other directory, and you would like to know that how many users are logged in currently, and what is the utilization of the CPU now, and what is the utilization of the memories, and how much memory is leaking on that, and how many applications are running currently on this, and how many users are utilizing this particular applications. Like this, these are all the small things which we will be having the questions in our mind. We can make it as like all the commands can be. Otherwise, what you need to do, you just need to write one by one command to see the outputs of that. Better you write a script like that. In that script, it will be all the commands will be written one by one. That is called as a shell script. Okay, shell script, once you run it, then it will be the commands will be running on particular time. I can even like scheduling it. It's like a scheduling a job. Friday evening at 5 o'clock, I need to take a backup. Yeah, definitely it can be done by writing a shell script, by giving the proper timing on customers' timings like that. You can make it out like that. So once you made it out, that shell script will be invoking on that time, and it will be start running the script on that particular server. It will be pulling up all the details and it will give it to you. It will be send a mail to you, or it will be sending an output to the directory. It will be storing it. So like this is the basic of the shell scripting which we talk about. Shell scripting will be doing a lot of wonder when you know about the how to write that. But shell scripting is going as an advanced things also. We can use a Python for that. We can use the Perl scripts on this, and we can use the Sedanoc, SED, and AWK. That scripts also available under the shell scripting. It is possible. Like there is an advanced thing. First, you just need to start with some kind of smaller script writing. When you start writing the scripting, in the sense you will start like engaging yourself, as well as you will start enjoying yourself. Because clicking the 10 like pop-up windows, and you just get confused by which window you are there earlier and which window you wanted to go for the next or something, that will be problematic. It's better to do it on the command line itself, running the commands, running the script on that, seeing the things which is going to be displaying on the screen. What is the bad thing about the Linux, in the sense it is not so attractive screen. The screen is not attractive. It means like a black color background terminal and white color letters will be appearing on there. Only these two colors. Okay, you can change the colors. That's not an issue. Whatever the color you're changing, that maybe like one or two colors only you'll be able to see that. Because it's not like, like a Windows, like, decorative or jiggling or something like that. It's not possible. It is not required. As and when you started doing kind of a graphical things to get shown on your screen, in the sense you require to have some more memory to run those applications, to display something to you on the screen. It is not required. It is not at all required. When you can Do it with the 2 commands or 3 commands. While you would like to have a Windows-based environment for to see that, it's not required. Windows C, it's for the people who are not a technical guys. You can just run in all the things with CLI itself. That's command line interface. You can just do that. So that is about that CLI and the GUI and the REST API, which we are talking about. REST API, that is a application programming interface. There also we just need to learn about the scripting background. If you know the scripting background only, you can branch out to any other scripting which is possible, which is available on the Kubernetes scripting, Dockers, and running the cloud formations. Cloud formation in the sense in the AWS we will be running a services, multiple services running on just one script itself. You can run on that. Like that, so many things possibilities are there when you learn the Linux. Linux is a mother, that's what I'm saying. From mother we learn all. Like that, from the Linux we learn all. Once you know the Linux good background in your hand, you don't need to worry about that. You will be much confident in handling the network equipments, firewall equipments, load balancer equipments, and all the applications which are installed, applications which are created on that. So every other applications which are created on the Linux background only. That's why. And this demo is, I'm just going to talk about that what all things are new on Red Hat 8, because Red Hat 8 has been released. I guess it's maybe around 8 months or maybe 1 year back. Can we set up similar to Active Directory domain for centralized administration on Linux? It is possible. That is called as an LDAP, lightweight directory access protocol. LDAP it is called as. LDAP 100% copy is called as an AD. Active Directory has been copied from LDAP only. LDAP is old, AD is later. Okay, you are not from the Linux background. That's why you're asking this question. Anyway, I answered your question. AD environment is possible in Linux. Yes, it is possible. That is called as LDAP, lightweight directory access protocol, which works on TCP/IP based. We can work on a TCP/IP domains. We can create that, and we can give all like somebody at example.com. That all we are creating it using the TCP domains. That domains integration is very much possible on LDAP. LDAP is old. LDAP is a mother. AD is child. I can say. Okay, so we are going to talk about on the Red Hat Linux 8, Enterprise Linux 8. Enterprise in the sense it's a licensed platform. Again, the license is coming here. Licensed platform in the sense like the support you will be getting on license. Support in the sense we normally, whenever we are installing a software, hardware, or any kind of a platform which install, that we'll be looking for a support, because when we run into the issues, when it installed in a customer environment, if any problems comes up, we require to have the company which has been produced the equipment or something like that, they should come us to help us to solve the customer's issues and problems and other things. That is called as a support contract, we normally call. That support contract is very much possible in Red Hat. And again, it is a severity 1, 2, 3, 4, something is there. According to that support, we'll just pay for the contract based or something it's going on. So official support for Red Hat, it is possible because Red Hat is giving you on that. When you buy the software from Red Hat, it has been given for you, and you'll have to go for a like support contracts and all. You just need to sign it out. And when you take the free Linuxes like CentOS Linux, you are taking Rocky Linux, you are taking that. Fedora Linux is also there. That has been a prequel for the Red Hat. After the Fedora, everything like tried out and bundled everything on this. When it's perfectly working, it will be included into the Red Hat. That's the way that is like a progressing platform. Red Hat 8 is a finished product. It doesn't have much issues like a Fedora or a CentOS or something. CentOS has also been put into the downstream nowadays. They are not putting it like an upstream. It's an upstream like that. So it's not in a downstream like earlier. After Red Hat 8 is released, CentOS 8 will be released. Means 3 months, 4 months after that. It's like that. But nowadays, because of that, IBM has taken over that Red Hat. They're just dumping that CentOS. There won't be any more issues will be coming up on the versions will be coming up on the CentOS. That's what they said. So what the CentOS authorities have done that in the sense, CentOS, whoever has made the CentOS, now he has made it like a Rocky Linux. I downloaded that Rocky Linux. It is perfectly working as the CentOS only. We don't need to worry about that. Learning about that Linux platform means like, because Red Hat doesn't give you the copies for to learn the Linux. Developer Linux, you can take that and you can work on. That is a different issue. But if you like to do the exact level environment, if you like to have it in the sense, earlier I used to show it with my people like the CentOS Linux. Now it's not possible. I'll show now with the Rocky Linux. Rocky Linux is the same exactly copy of the Red Hat. It has been made as exactly as it is. There is no doubt about that. You don't need to worry about that. So learning purpose, you require to know with that Rocky Linux. You can do everything on Rocky Linux as we are doing on a Red Hat platform. Then in the company, because the company will be affordable to take the license and enterprise Linux and other things, which you will go in a working in a company with Red Hat, but you learn with the Rocky. It's more than enough for you because you are just a learner. And what all things we are going to discuss it today. In this Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8, in this Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8, what all things are new, software has been introduced, what sort of an installation platforms has been introduced, and how many kind of a Docker kind of an environment which we can integrate. How good is the Red Hat 8 is good for the cloud platforms and something else. And like that, so many other things which we are going to discuss it today. So let me start with my slides. One second, let me minimize this, guys. I'll go with an FI. Hello, Red Hat Linux Enterprise. Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8 is based upon the principle of operational consistency, security, and the cloud foundation. Utilizing the kernel 4.18x, Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8 is based on Fedora 28 and will run on Intel AMD 64-bit processors as well as IBM PowerLE, IBM Z systems, and ARM 64-bit. There are many CPUs available currently. People are having some different kind of laptops they are buying it and they're just coming and saying that it is not an Intel, it is saying something else. It's not a problem. Everything is a 64-bit processor in the sense that it's not an issue. So we can run the Red Hat 8 in Intel AMD platform, IBM platform, ARM platform. Everything we can run on that. It's not a problem at all. It is a completely backward compatible as well. Some of the new features on Red Hat Linux 8 kernel and OS. Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8 is 8.0 is based on Fedora 28 and upstream kernel 4.18. This kernel is actually been upgraded. This is a bit older PPT which I'm running. This provides the users with a secure, stable, and a consistent foundation across hybrid cloud and data center deployments with tools needed to support all levels of workloads. Supported CPU architecture, we already seen that AMD and Intel 64-bit ARM, IBM Power Systems and Little Endian, IBM Z. Content distribution. Red Hat Enterprise Linux has two modes of content distribution and will only need two repositories enabled. Base OS repository. This base OS repository provides the underlying core content in the form of traditional RPM packages. Base OS components have a life cycle identical to that of content in previous Red Hat Enterprise Linux releases. Upstream repository. Application stream repository provides all the applications you might want to run in a given user space. Other software has a special licensing or available on a supplemental repository. Normally, what do we do when we try to update the Linux system? We'll be running the M update. M means it's like a yellow dog update modifier, it's called as. That's a kind of an application which we use to run the run the update for the OS kernel and other applications as well. So that when we are running that, there is a two kind of repositories available. Repository is nothing but it is going to keep the bulk of softwares, which is there, necessary DLL, dynamic link library files and other things, but in the OS related files and application related files. That is what they are talking about. So we have a base OS repository also available, and we have upstream repositories also available on this. Desktop environment, RHEL default desktop environment is a GNOME. GNOME is a project supported by the GNOME Foundation. A version of GNOME is shipped in RHEL 8 version 3.28, has automatic downloading of operating systems in boxes. Other new features include new on-screen keyboard, new GNOME boxes features, extended device support, most significantly integration for the Thunderbolt 3 interface, improvements for GNOME software, beacon of editor and the GNOME terminal, Genome software utility, which enables you to install and update applications and genome shell environments, extensions. Genome display manager, use a Wayland as their default display driver instead of Xorg. Earlier environment, we used to have that Xorg service. Now we are using the Wayland. Something in the company changes actually. Okay. Next, software management. RHEL 8 YUM package. YUM is nothing but yellow dog update modifier. Package manager is now based on DNR, dandified, something is called a dandified YUM. And technology, and it provides support for modular content, increased performance, and a well-designed, stable API for integration with the tooling. The version of RPM is 4.14.2, and it validates the whole package contents before it starts the installations. YUM version available in RHEL 8 is version 4.0.4. YUM based on DNF has the following advantages over the previous YUM v3 used in RHEL 7. RHEL means Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7, version 7. Increase performance, support the modular content, well-designed stable API for integration with the tooling. Okay, I was just using the DNF also. I used with the DM also. M is also available. It's not a problem like that. You can run with the DM. But what RHEL 8 is saying that you just need to do it with the DNF, because DNF has got so much features installed in that. There is no much difference I see in that one. Okay. Anyway, and web servers, tools, and compilers, and languages and databases. RHEL 8 includes application streams of multiple versions of databases, languages, compilers, and other tools available for your use. Below a list of components available in RHEL 8. Python by default it is a 3.6 has been installed. Database servers, it is providing the databases. MariaDB 10, MySQL 10, PostgreSQL 9, PostgreSQL 10, and all it is available. Redis, web servers, HTTP 2.4 and Nginx 1.14. Nginx you can integrate. Nginx is also another one HTTP server, like that web server it is called. Open LDAP replaced by the 369 LDAP server. Vanish, Cache, Git, Maven, Perl, PHP, Ruby, Node, Python, Rust, toolset, Scala, Go toolset, GCC, Stamps, System Compiler, .NET Core, it's also available. So many other tools which are available on this one, like within 8. And what is new? Improvements in the operational consistency, improvements in security, improvements in cloud foundation, improvements in compute, improvements in network, storage, Red Hat virtualization. Virtualization in the sense we can create like a VMware ESXi, like that environment which we create. Earlier we used to call it as like a boxes. It's installed in the Red Hat platform. Now it's called as a Red Hat V. So we are going to see that one by one points on the next coming up slides. Improvements in operational consistency has sought to reduce the complexity in RHEL 8, which comes with the 10 guaranteed years of enterprise support. We have to buy that anyway. Their model involves repositories for the base operating system as well as application streams for a flexible lifecycle options, which offer multiple versions of databases, languages, various compilers, and other tools to help facilitate the use of RHEL for business models. Built-in defaults in RHEL 8 include tuned profiles for database options, ready-to-go options out of the box, and Ansible system rules to provide the common configuration interface, ensuring the standardization and reliability. Anyway, Ansible, we cannot install it in a Windows platform at all. It is not possible. We have to do it in any one of the Linux, either Ubuntu or Red Hat or CentOS or Rocky Linux. Ansible is the one mostly used for network automation things. It's a network automation tool, we can call it as. So there is a support for that in RHEL 8 also. M package manager is based on dandified YUM technology, which supports modular content, better performance, stable API for integration with the tooling. And user feedback indicated that YUM is a lot faster than it used to be, and all the commands work as well. Means, they are saying that other than YUM, that like YUM, we say DNF is working fine. Let's say Red Hat Insights, tools to provide the system administrators with analytics, machine learning, and automation controls are now included in RHEL 8 along with the session recording feature, which can record and playback using the terminal sessions for better security and training capabilities. So its inbuilt recording is there. You don't require to have the third-party integration of the recording software like a Zoom or something. Anyway, improvements in the security, secure default compiler flags and a static code analysis having been added to the RHEL 8 for more secure code writing. Fifth, Federal Information Processing Standards mode has been made easier to activate the organization that requires the federal government security standards. RedHat also sought for the make it easier with the work with the smart cards and hardware security modules, HSMs, and OpenSSH, Apache Web Server can be better secured. RHEL 8 offers a strong crypto policies for encryptions. TLS 1.3 is a system-wide standard. 1.2 is widely considered too slow for today's applications. SSH TLS we normally say. IC Linux has been improved for a better controls on files and directories and is enabled by default in RHEL 8. Software ID, that is WID, tags in RHEL 8 can help perform software inventory management and enforce application whitelisting across the enterprise to permit only trusted program to execute. These are all, when you start digging more things, you will be able to understand a lot of things on this. And improvements in the cloud foundation, because without a cloud, no other platform, no other software, no other operating system cannot work at all, because we are in a cloud age. It's not a network age, it's a cloud age we are working on. Earlier it was an electronics age, then a network age, computer age, network age. Now it has become a cloud age. So RHEL 8 includes more modern options for better scalability, stability, flexibility, and performance of the containers and the images. Docker, Postman, Podman, Builder, Scooby were all referenced as options to work with the containers and images in RHEL 8 environment. Image building was touted as another benefit for 8 to enable the automated creation and customized RHEL OS images, which can accelerate deployment options. RHEL 8 helps facilitate building standard, also known as a master images for everything, type of scenario, spanning from bare metal build to the public build. Means you can build the OS with the help of the tools which is available inbuilt in the RHEL 8 itself. You can convert that build, like, because we tried to migrate the server to the cloud platform. In the sense, we just need to do some third-party tools. VMware was offering something, and many other third-party tools are also there. vMotion we were using it. Instead of that, we can make the build from the RHEL 8 on the current version which is running. It's like a snapshot which you take in VMware. That we can do it in the RHEL 8 itself. There is a tool available. And RedHat virtualization RHV, latest virtualization offering from RedHat, and can be compared with the VM virtualization environment. As with the current standards, environment relies on compute, network, and storage. RedHat sought to implement improvements in all above the categories. Improvement in computing, simplified driver firmware updates for hardware partners to ease the hardware installation and maintenance, ease customization and configuration management to help deploy and support virtual systems in more timely fashion. Anaconda provides a common installer tool for both RHEL and RedHat virtualization has host to get virtual hosts up and running more rapidly. Cockpit plugin sample, headweight based Linux administration tool provides host specific tuning, troubleshooting, pro access, and host access. Another thing. Cockpit, you are using the webmin, something like that. Through the web, we can monitor that and finding out the activities on the server. Now they're saying it's a cockpit. Advanced system dashboard offers a deep resource utilization overview of CPU, memory, and storage based host resources. Expanded Ansible integration for automating more tasks. Live migration for high performance virtual machines. That is possible. Improvement in network. Many different networking configurations RHV 4.3. If you use bonded interface, as most companies do, 4.3 sort of aggregates the bandwidth. Like what we bonded interface or binding it or bundling it, that is called as like a cluster making like that interfaces, something like that. It is possible on this one. And RedHat OpenStack platform 13 and 14 SDN certification is also included in RHV 4.3, which includes OVN and Open vSwitch standards to provide the integration of OpenStack software-defined network capabilities. Improvement in storage. Enhanced storage functionality using the managed block storage domains. Managed storage domains include RedHat virtualization to connect to the Cinder using the Cinder lib for storage connectivity and functionality, such as copy and clone offload operations. Storage image uploader allows the uploading the images from local or remote disks to the storage domain through the browser-based user interface or an API. So these are all cloud requirements which are getting solved on this. General information of the comparison of RHEL 876, when it has been released, how long the support is going to be there, and what is the name of that, when is the support is going to end on that, like some table or column. That is a very heavy information, so that I just took only what is required for us. RHEL 8 is available on 14 November 18 itself. You see that? And what is the name of that? It is called as a WOOTPA, and the kernel version is 18. End of full support, it will be ending on 2024. We may have to go for an upgradation again. Yeah, maintenance support is not available. End of maintenance support is 29, means a 5-year extension. You can get that. Extended lifecycle support to be defined, something like that. Last minor release and all. So this is a comparison with the RHEL 7, RHEL 6. Most of the companies are still sticking with the 6 only. They don't want to upgrade it at all because they feel like that if they upgrade, there will be a lot of problems they need to be facing. Okay, anyway, it's about the version comparisons. New tools in RedHat 8: Builder, Scopio, Podman, Cockpit, Image Builder. Builder, replacement of the Docker for image build. Scopio, replace Docker to move the images between the containers. Podman, Docker compatible command line tool. Cockpit, interactive server admin interface. Image Builder, create customized RedHat images for AWS, Azure, VMware, and many other platforms. So these are all built-in tools which are available in the RedHat 8. We will see one by one. Scopio, inspect, copy, and sign the container images. Replaces the Docker push as the preferred, maintained, and supported utility for moving the container images between the registries and container engines. Can inspect a repository on a container registry without needlessly pulling the image. Can sign and verify the container images. Can delete container images from the remote container registry. No daemon, no root user required. You see that? It's not a daemon at all. It's like just running like a command. So you will be seeing the demo like this. Make the Scopio copy, something like that. Okay. Next, builder. Build open container initiative, OCA, and Docker images. That is what builder. Builder utility replaced Docker build as the preferred, maintained, and supported container images build tool in RHEL 8. Images can be built in either the OCA image format or the traditional upstream Docker image format. No daemon again. There is no daemon as such. Means each and everything has been running on RedHat 7 was like a daemon. We just need to go and start the service. Daemon is nothing but a service. Means like if you wanted to start the web server, in the sense web server daemon service need to be started. Like systemctl start HTTPD, like that. Those, it's not running like a service over here. It is just running like a command we can just run. Then next it is somebody is coming up. Please switch off your video. Thank you. And Podman, run, manage, and debug containers. The Podman container engine replaced Docker as the preferred, maintained, and supported container runtime of choice for Red Hat Linux Enterprise Linux 8. Podman provides Docker compatible command line experience, enabling users to find and run, build, and share the containers. Podman uses build on Scopio libraries for build and push. There is no daemon again. It's like a running command only, like the list goes on. And Podman run -t, -p, something like that we can do. Cockpit is nothing but like a web-based server management software. Like that it is coming up. IDM domain admin can manage Cockpit. Integration of PCP to activate the metric persistence. Manage server remote via the dashboard. New subscription manager GUI. T-log session recorder GUI. Composer GUI. Virtual manager replacement. NBDE. So many other things are there. We just need to go and like explore what is there inside on this. Webmin has been used in the earlier days. Now they given like a cockpit like, or third-party integrations also nowadays it's come. So you'll be managing multiple of servers from the one screen or something like that you can do. Image builder. Image builder is a tool that enables you to create the customized system images of RedHat Enterprise Linux. Amazon, Azure, .img, .iso, OpenStack, QCode2, tar, and VMware. This many images we can build out with the image builder, because these are all the formats which are being supported by different platforms as well. Amazon platform, we require some different image. Azure platform, we require a different image of RedHat Linux. .img, .iso, OpenStack. Mostly, like welcomed is a .iso. It can be running on any platforms as well. And QCode2, we can run it with a KVM based, like kernel virtual machine based environments. tar is like a building, like, like doing the zip or something like that. And for a VMware platform also, we can create VMDK, we can create with it. This image builder can do all this. Image builder functionality can be accessed through the graphical user interface in cockpit or with a command line composer CLI tool. Beautiful. So as we have to go through all these exams to get certified, definitely, if you are saying that I know Linux, I can work on Linux, but nobody will believe you. They may be asking one or two comments, but ultimately they will be asking you the certificate. Do you have the Red Hat certified? Because as far as I know, whatever the certifications on Linux, which has been most acclaimed in the market, as well as the HRs which you are looking for, is the Red Hat Linux certification. I guess whether Ubuntu has got or Debian has got a certification or something, I don't know. Or anybody else is giving the certification on Linux, or I don't know. But Red Hat is the one that is very famous, and it has been most acclaimed certification on Linux platform administrations. It has been most welcomed certificate in the market. So we just need to study for certification based things. Means like they will be asking for kind of, the commands, and it is not like an objective or something other subjective question or something. It is more of laboratory based. Means your screen will be split into two parts. Other side will be the scenario is given, and the second part, the real Linux server will be running on that. Red Hat 8, something will be running on that. In the Red Hat 8, you just need to run all the commands and need to see the outputs on that. The exam will be picking up the answers from you, and it will be giving the proper marks for that when you run the proper commands or something. So it is like a more of, you are doing a lab over there. It is not like writing an exam or something. So what is required to appear for the exams, in the sense, more and more working on hands. You just need to work on that. You need to keep on working with your hands. Means like a hands-on practice is required completely. Unless and until you will not be able to clear the exams, as well as you will not be able to clear any interviews also. Because in interview, it is a scenario only being asked. Maybe like one or two commands will be asking that. I'll be asking like, how do you write a shell script to make a backup on the certain server? How do you write it? We'll be asking that. Then I'll be asking like that, how do you updating your Red Hat system? What are the commands used for that? How do you build your from the network CLI? Like that means the CLI with the command line interface. How do you build the network cards? How do you configure that? How to install an application? How do you start a certain daemon? Means like web server, whether it is working on it, how do I know? Like this scenario-based questions which are coming up for the Linux peoples when they get into the interviews or something. And the same kind of a questions has been asked in your exams also. So you have to go through the manuals and as well as the examples and the scenarios based on things which has been given on this Red Hat exams on this. And Red Hat has got a two type of certification. One is called as like Red Hat System Administrator. That is an RHCSA and RHCE. There are two certifications, but these are all like that 1, 2, 3. There's the exams are split into 3 parts. So you can take by one. If you think that it is overwhelmed with so much things, I just need to study, in the sense you can just take it like a partly like that. But people will be going for RHCSA. I guess this exam is not available now. Maybe it's not available. I just need to check it out in the Red Hat site. But Red Hat 8 is the only thing which is available. This is a first level certification. Red Hat RSA-CHA is a first level certification. And the second level certification is RSCE. So this exams, we are going to see it on the next coming up slides. And no worries about that. We just need to learn everything. Then only you'll be able to get into the exams on this. System Administration 1, what all you will be getting on this? Introduction to the command line, managing the physical storage, install and configure the software components and services, establish network connections and control firewall, monitor and manage running processes, manage and secure files and file systems, administer users and groups, review the system log files and journal for the issues, troubleshoot problems and analyze the systems in the RedHat Insights, remotely manage systems with SSH and web console. These are all first part of the administration. Second part, installing the RHEL using the scalable methods, means by using the multiple medias, you just need to install it like that, and accessing the security files, file systems and networks, executing the shell scripting and automation techniques. Automation techniques, they added that Ansible also into this. Manage storage devices and logical volumes, manage file systems, manage security and system access, control the boot process and the system services. System administration 3, control services and daemons, manage the IPv6 networking, configure Linux aggregation and the bridging, control network port security, manage the DNS for the servers, configure email delivery, provide block-based storage, provide file-based storage, configure MariaDB databases, provide Apache HTTPD web service, write the Bash scripts, Bash conditionals and control structures, configure the shell environment. This is the 3 exams which you may have to go through. Each exam will be costing you just need to pay for that. One by one, if you would like to go for that, 1, 2, 3, like that. Else, what you can do, you can go for directly EX200. That is a RedHat certified system administrator. And exam based on RHEL 7 is available for the classroom, on-site and individual exam until October 1. So that's what I said. Until October 2020, it was over. Now we are in August 2021. So only RHESA 8 is available for you. This is a part of the examinations goes on. Certifications will be going on this one. So that's what say 1, 2, 3, something like that. After that, you will be getting into that RHESA exam. Just forget about that RHEL 7. It is not available at all anymore. You just need to get that RHEL 8 only. And in the RHE Linux 7 is not available actually. So based on available until July 1 to 2020 and purchase until the 2020 onwards. So everything is over. So we are going to write the exam on RHEL 8 only now. So you need to go through that 8 only, 8 exams. That's what. This is about RHE engineer. This is a RHE engineer. This is for RHESA. This is a first level exam, I can say. There's a first level exam, and just think that RHEL 8, we just need to go through the exams. And the next level exam is nothing but we have RHEL 7, RHEL 8, and the second level exam is this RHE, RedHat Certified Engineer. First level exam is an RHESA. RHESA, actually speaking, that RHESA is very hard, I'm telling, very hard. RHE is somewhat easier to clear that. That is how my people are always saying that. Because RHESA, checking and finding out your capabilities towards the Linux itself. So each and every granular things has been asked from that core things of the Linux platform. So what we need to do now, we are going to write that exam based on RedHat Linux 8 only. So exam number doesn't change, but the version number has been changed. Whenever you go for the exam, like October 2020 only, the RHEL 7 and all, everything is got over. So whatever the exam you're going to take it now, it's going to be an RHEL 8 only. So this is the number 8. Just remember that 8. We have to take that 8. On this, we need to learn all the new commands, new kind of yum installations, applications, and what are the third-party applications which can be installed, and what are the built-in capabilities which are there. And along with that, we will be going through all the other activities as well on this. Okay. So this is about the certification part of it. As usual, I always give my numbers and my contact information and other things of that. So you can talk to me on RHEL 8. Definitely, I will be taking on RHEL 8 only. No worries about that. I'll be conducting the sessions on RHEL 8. We can do the RHESA also, RHE also, means a version 1 and version 2. Means like, yeah, somebody is asking. Okay, that's what. Can we set up similar Active Directory domain for centralized? This is an old question. I answered already. Anyway, if you have any questions on Linux-based things or any other course-based things also, you can ask now. You can put it on a chat box or you can talk to me. And you can talk to me on a WhatsApp number, which is on the screen, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. that is written on the screen, like youtube.com/c/Ramnath. So you can get into that, and you can subscribe to my channel to see all the new things which are coming up on the market. I'll be talking to that, and you can send an email about that if you'd like to know about some other courses on this. Then you can get back to me on this. And if you have any questions on RedHat Linux to learning and going for examinations or self-learning only like that, you can ask me. I'll be taking the sessions for you like a daily 2 hours. We can talk about that. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. I'm ready to answer your questions. And then I'll be showing you the Rocket Linux, which is downloaded and installed in my, has Solaris become obsolete? It is not obsolete. Some other companies are still using the Solaris, but when we talk about the people going for Solaris installations and all, it is not. Nowadays, I'm telling. Means like, because everybody has been standardized with the Linux only, and 80% of the web servers which are running on Apache only, Apache which is running on a CentOS boxes only, we are running on this. In our data centers, I can just say 80% of the Linux which is running on, it is nothing but a CentOS. Sun Solaris, actually, why it has been gone obsolete in the sense nobody is going for it, because it is require a heavy maintenance cost need to be paid to the companies. Sun Solaris need to be paid. So that's why everyone has moved towards the Linux only, because Linux is free and it doesn't require much management as well. And when it is compared with the RedHat or something like that, the price is lesser. So that's why people has been moved out of the Sun Solaris and Unix and IBM Unix, HP Unix environment to the Linux boxes. For last 10 years, I just see only the Linux platform has been everywhere. So I don't see any other Unix platform is still running on anywhere. So that I guess I answer your questions. Anybody else would like to ask any questions on this? You can make the questions. And please tell your friends and colleagues and relatives to talk to my number. If they're looking for a Linux sessions, I will be taking complete Linux sessions for you. It's a Linux administration. We will be doing it with installation of the Linux box in your laptop. Your laptop is enough, like near about 4 GB if you spare it, and around 100 GB if you can leave it, it's more than enough. 2 processors will give that in virtual machine. It'll perfectly work on it. No need to worry about that. We can make that. If you make more memory, it's okay. We can have multiple applications running. We can check that, and we can do some kind of all the third-party applications installations also. You can see that. I'll be giving you that entire syllabus which has been prescribed by the RedHat for the examinations. I'll be covering all of the things for you. No worries. Okay. So you can tell your friends and your colleagues to, if they would like to go for a Linux-based trainings on that, Linux box trainings on that. I definitely take on that. Not a problem. And I guess if no questions and all, then I'll be showing you my RedHat, the Rocky Linux platform I would like to show you. I have installed that Rocky Linux. See, this is a Rocky Linux. Rocky Linux is nothing but the CentOS guy who made it like that. Actually, he just made it. Exactly the things will be looking like Rocky Linux only. Sorry, CentOS Linux only. So this is the all platforms which you are seeing, that boxes, cheese, files. I didn't install many other third-party applications as well. That's why it is showing you like that. This is the settings which you can go for. It's like look like your Windows environment only. Bluetooth is not configured. Background, we can go and make the settings on this. And this is the notifications. I can make that. Search, I can do with that. Regional language, we normally use the English only, so no worries. Universal access. Online accounts, you can create the accounts. Privacy with the screen locking, location services, sharing, where you can go and share with it. I given a name like a rocky.ramnet local, like that. Somebody is chatting. What is that? Does Linux offer hypervisor under RedHat Linux version? Same like Microsoft Hyper-V under Windows. Yeah, that's what I was discussing about that. That is called as RHV. RedHat virtualization. Yes, definitely it is there. We can do it. And sound. So this is about the sound and unlocked output. Something is there. Power platform. We can have this. Network, we can configure the network over here. We can create the profiles as well. This is the default profile which has been created, IP address which has been taken on that. Identity, IPv4 automatic. I just took it over the DHCP over my geo connection on this. So if you want to create, you can just click the plus and you can create more. and more, you can create more platforms, like more profiles as well, it is possible. Devices, these are all the keyboards, mouse, touchpad, pointers, remove media, all things are there. Okay, then we'll see something on details. This is a Rocky Linux 8. It's exactly equivalent to the Red Hat 8. I will be showing you with the Rocky Linux mostly on for the students which they are coming to learn about the Red Hat Linux 8. Else I will be showing on CentOS 8 only, and we will be able to download that the Red Hat Linux for a developer platform, and I will be showing you certain commands also in Red Hat also. Actually, it is not required for you to practice that Red Hat platform. We can do everything, each and everything, literally everything on a Rocky Linux or in a CentOS Linux, because it doesn't require any kind of certifications. Sorry, it doesn't require any kind of licensing copies for that to learn the Linux platform. And I given the memory of 6.1 GB. Processor is an Intel Core i7. I given a 2 processor for this, and the graphics, genome version, OS type is 64. Virtualization is VMware. I'm running on VMware. You see that? It's on VMware. And it's a size I given a 200 GB for the hard disk space. And the date and time, it's like, so automatically dating, it's taking the date 8 August 2021, and the time is 12:08 PM in Bangalore. And in users, this is the only user I created called Hyena, and default applications. These are all like how the program is going to open up later. So this is about the settings. And if you would like to get into the terminal of this, you can get into that. This is the terminal. It's just coming up the LSL. I just do that. LSL means the listing commands. Man help, I can do that. Man means the manual. It's going to help you all the things as well. And you can just say man ls. It'll be giving that what is the ls command is actually going to do that. What all the options are there in ls commands? Ls minus a means all. Ls minus capital A, almost all. ls minus b. See, even if it's a 26 ABCD will be shown on that as a for your helping features. Like you say, ls minus a. It's all showing the hidden things on us. ls minus lt or somebody will be there. ls minus l is more than enough. Like that, you can just see. And if you wanted to see the date, you can see that date is Sunday 8 August 12:10 is an IST timing, and the clock is no command. Show clock is in Cisco platform, sorry. And the calendar, you can just see that. What's the calendar? This is a calendar which is showing the August 2021. Today is 8 is a highlighted. This is August. If you like to see the last 3 months, I can just see that. July 2021, August 2021, September 21, last month, current month, and the next month, like that it is been showing. If you would like to see the complete year, you can just say cal -1. It'll be showing the 1 year. There is no other options. Don't try that. Okay. And who logged in? As a hyena, I logged in. Who am I? What am I? Who I logged into that. Like that. This terminal can be increased in many terminals as well. This is a like scaling and other things you can do. If you like to open another terminal, I can just say TTY. Which terminal I am in? TTY. It's a teletype terminal 1, and this is like a TTY. If I say it will be as a 0, the first terminal, second terminal, like that I can keep on creating the terminal as much as I want, you know. And if you like to become a super user, that is called as a root, and you'll have to give the password for that. Once you become, the name will get changed. Hyena is a normal user. Root is a super user. He has all the information on this. CD home. In the directory, we'll be seeing that how many people are created on this as a user in this directory. Only one user is there. We can create the user. We can give them the rights. We can give some rights and permissions over the directories permissions. It's like a group policy we are creating in a Windows servers. We can create DNS server. We'll be creating the FTP server, HTTP servers. You know, like we'll be installing the MariaDB. That is one of the database platform which we can create. So many things are which are discussed on the syllabus part of it. We will be able to see everything on. Mostly 90% of the things which I will cover on the Linux when you try to learn the Linux on CLI only. CLI, it's always CLI, not GUI, not GUI. Okay, don't worry. Once you start working on a CLI, you will start enjoying it. You will throw out the GUI. It is not at all required. We will be taking these connections through the SSH from the outside, we can take that. And we can definitely install that Linux platform in the VMware workstation. There is no issues at all. We can make the server to talk to the outside world through the internet. It can talk to the internet sites as well. It can talk to the other fellow managers as well. Sorry, other virtual machines as well. Other machines can log into this machine can talk to that, and it'll be creating a lot of other things as well, like all the application installations, upgradations, maintenance, troubleshootings on Linux platform, and how do they work with the network equipments, and all you will be seeing that, how to create the signatures on this, how to create a SSH session on that. And we'll be seeing lot of things over the command based on this. We can just see here, it's saying the connectivity which is being made on that. It's a connection which has been made on the, to the network connections. This is the user who is logged into this, like that you can have. And you would like to shut down, you can just click on this. I'd like to lock this screen, and you would like to go for the settings, you can go for it. But what I'm saying that we will not be using any kind of, the GUI activities when you come to that sessions, maybe 1 or 2 days, because you come from the Windows background. You may not be knowing about, we are not much familiar with the commands and all. We will be seeing 1 or 2 things on the GUI, but because all the Linux engineers hate GUI, they would like to be sitting on a terminal screen, like a Neo who is on the Matrix, like that. You'll start enjoying it. Definitely, I'm telling them. Don't be afraid of learning the command lines, because based on command lines only, every other network equipment has been configured, and it has been maintained, troubleshooted, integrations, and going for an upgradation as well. Everything is based on that. For ease and easier operation, they made it like a GUI. Because when you would like to monitor a firewall, in the sense, GUI will be better, because we can have the dashboard, like the dials and all like that, how we are having in our car, like that, how much petrol is left, how much is the distance we covered, something like that. So like a dashboards which we can have on this, that is for the people who are on as a L1, which they can be made to sit on the chair to monitor the things and all. But you are going to be an L2 engineer and L3 engineers, and you are about to configure the things to make the things to work. So we require to learn multiple command line based configurations as well. So we go for command line based. We'll start with the very basic things on that, and running some help, running some, like listing the directories, creating the files, and providing the permissions to that file. Login as a different user and finding out. Login from the outside, and we try to know that whether the user can log into that server or something. Like that, we'll be slowly we'll be starting that. Then we'll go until the server installations, like that. We'll see the server installations. We'll see the tuning of the applications as well. We'll see the how many processes which is running on top. Top is nothing but like a Windows, the task manager, we normally call it as in Windows. The same platform, we see that here, top. Top means which are all the top processes which is running, which user is running. Hyena is running the genome shell, that is taking the so much of a CPU. So much means 0.30%. This is a CPU. This is the memory utilization on this. It's like a priority, username, and the process ID. We'll see many things. We'll see. If I'm taking on one day, you'll get very much confused, or you'll get bored, definitely. So that's why I'm saying that when you come for a session, we will go for one by one things, like means you will not get bored, and you will not get the frustrations on that. Because even if I'm seeing the people who are coming to learn this Cisco or ASA or any FI or something like that, I'll pull them into the most of the CLA. They will hate, man, wait, this is coming. I say, see, once you grow up as a senior engineer, you are about to work on only on the command lines only. So that is a way, that is a destination you just need to go and reach there. So better you start now only as learning like more of Linux commands and other things. So once you know the Linux infrastructure, how does it been working, how the memory managed, how the CPUs has been working with that, how the applications are getting integrated, and how the services has been stopped and started. How much process is taking which memory, how much process is taking the CPU utilizations on this. These are all packet capturing things. These are all the very basic things which has been common, applicable for every other network equipment for that. For that, you will be learning the Linux, in the sense it will give a more advantage towards working with multiple platforms on the network sites also. Because I'm a network engineer, that's why I'm always talking about network like that. So luckily I learned Linux also, so that I am very much easy to work with it. I myself is very much comfortable. I'm not looking for anybody else to come up and help me to understand the Linux core things, which has been built on the routers and switches and all. I can solve my own issues around. It's very easy for you to, when you are in a very critical situations and all, where your Linux skills will be helping you a lot in finding out the issues on the load balancers, firewalls, routers, switches, every other things. Okay, so I have come to the conclusion of this this particular the demo, and you can ask me any questions if you'd like to have it, or and you can ask it your as usual. I will always say that please tell your friends and relatives to come for sessions, and they can go for this kind of YouTube. And if they are watching the channels, please tell them to like comment it on, and as well as if they would like to have any questions on this, they can comment on the every video whichever they are watching on this. By seeing the comments, I will be start answering it. If possible, you can provide your email address also in the comment section on YouTube in my channel. I will be definitely answering your questions as well, or you can WhatsApp me on this number and you can email it to me also. Okay, so as usual, I am asking you, like, please provide your email addresses to me on the chat box. I'll be sending you this PPT as well as a recording of today to all the people. Hello, can I get the email addresses of people who attended? I will not be disturbing you like sending the multiple mails or chain of mails or something. Don't worry about that. I will be sending you only what is required about this one. And when you come back to me and you would like to have some kind of an information in the sense, we will continue by email chains and other things. And you don't get any kind of a promotional mails from me. I'm very much sure about that because I don't have time to send them and all. And I see many of the people are there still. They can give me their email addresses. Please provide your email address, please. That's what I'm looking from you. Like, and if you are privileged enough to give your mobile numbers also, it's more than enough. It's more than it's what is it? We can say that I can most welcome that. I'll be pinging you on WhatsApp to know about that. Provide your email addresses. I'll be sending you this PPTs and the recordings and the YouTube channel informations about that, so that you can go and watch this particular the today's session on the YouTube anywhere. And I've been talking about that on a YouTube, on cloud platform, firewall platforms, load balancer platforms, operating system like this Linux and other things. And I've been talking about the firewalls and managers and other things and all. So whatever the cloud also is talking, I've been working on AWS, Azure, and the Google Cloud. So if you're looking for any kind of sessions on a cloud sessions also, you can contact me. And okay, so many people has given me the mail addresses as well. I can take them. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. I am very much ready to answer you. It's coming up. Jordan Pascal. Jordan Pascal. Okay. Any more addresses? Because I'm talking last more than 1 hour, I guess 1.5 hours. I'm talking. So thanks much for the people who joined today, and very much thank you for the people who joined today, and please subscribe to my channel as well. And I will be sending you this information about the the PPT as well as the recordings to your email in next half an hour. You can expect a mail from my side. Okay, then thank you very much for joining today's sessions. I'm just going ahead and closing the session. If you have more questions on this, okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Okay, Krishna, okay, thanks. And if you have any more questions on this, please do write to my email, or you can just directly ping me on WhatsApp number. No problems. I can be answerable to you anytime. I'll be answering to you on any time. No issues around. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining today. Thanks. Bye. And as usual, we'll be seeing some new chapter on the next coming up Sunday. Thank you very much. Bye.